Beauty Professor, and you can find my beauty blog at beautyprofessor.net. Happy March to you! Today I'm excited to share my beauty and skincare favorites from the month of February. And my goodness, how quickly this month went by. I intended to do a second video in February and the month was excruciatingly busy, so I'm excited to get back to doing videos. Hopefully March will be kinder in the schedule department. Additionally, for those of you who read my blog or follow me on Instagram, I know I shared that Jethro, my dog, who I've showed in previous videos, had an emergency eye surgery this last month, and I'm sure that contributed to the frenzy of the past few weeks. I'm happy to say that he is definitely on the road to recovery. He's been confined to a cone for nearly 2 weeks now, and he gets it off at the end of this week, and hopefully he'll be feeling completely back to normal at that point. So that's a little update on him. At this point, I'm ready to talk about skincare first. I'll start with cleanser. I have been using a decent amount of the Radical Skincare Hydrating Cleanser, and while I often use just ivory soap in the shower, sometimes I feel, especially with cold weather, that my skin needs maybe a more gentle touch. And this is a really luxurious cleanser. It removes makeup, but the skin doesn't feel in any way dried out or stripped of natural oils. In fact, I feel, as the name would imply, really hydrated. It has a soft orange scent, but it's very natural and I don't find it cloying or over the top. And I've been really happy with the Radical Skincare line in terms of the products I've tried thus far. The cleanser is definitely a favorite for me. Next is the Vixa Refining Facial Polisher, and this is an incredible exfoliant. I have reviewed this on my blog, and it's just the most gorgeous hue of dark green. It has some natural particles to buff away the impurities and the dead skin on your face, and it also harnesses the power of more MOOR mud to enrich the skin with nutrients and minerals while definitely leaving a smoother complexion. I use it every other day or every 2 days because I find if I over exfoliate, I actually get overly glowy, which is strange to me, but it does happen. So I try to use exfoliant with restraint, but this is a beautiful one for sensitive skin. Once again, it's just completely effective and yet another product from the Vixa line that I'm absolutely in love with. Then I have two skincare body products. One is the Aveeno Daily Moisturizing Body Wash, and I never use body wash, only soap in the shower, but this was sent to me and I just thought, I threw it in my shower, thought I would give it a go. I love this. Definitely a low maintenance person when it comes to shaving. I just shave with warm water. That's probably absolutely deplorable for the skin, but I do it and I've done it for years and I'm in a hurry. But I've been shaving with this and my skin is so comfortable. I get the closest shave on my legs. I'm very smooth. I almost don't even feel like I need to follow up with moisturizer after I use it. It has a really soft, fresh scent, and this is going to become a staple in my shower from this point forth. It's only taken me until my adult life to figure out that body wash is a good thing. Finally is the Sunday Riley Juno Body. It's the Transformative Body Lipid Serum. Now, I've used the Juno for the face in the past, and the body version definitely has the same kind of herbal aroma. It's almost like salad, but in the best possible way. It feels very fresh and green, and the ingredients on this particular oil or serum, stellar. They're just amazing for the skin, very nourishing. This oil, a little bit goes a long way, and when I feel like I need extra hydration, I just put a drop or two on my hands straight out of the shower to trap in the moisture of the shower, and I just rub it on my legs and my arms. You could put a little more across your chest and décolleté, and I feel like I don't need lotion after that for another 24 hours until I shower. So it's a beautiful version of Juno and one that my skin has definitely been soaking up in the winter months. I have two hair care products to discuss. The first is the Gloss Modern High Gloss Serum, and this is a post-washing and conditioning product for me. I just put a pump of this serum into my hands directly following the shower and rub it through my hair, which has gotten wildly long in the last few months, and it detangles, it adds a beautiful luster or a shine, and it also protects my hair if I do go ahead and take that next step to blow drying or maybe using the straightener the next morning. So it's got this coconut, like warm, beachy scent to it, but it's not too strong, and it doesn't stain my hair all day, but initially I'm just intoxicated by the scent. It's delicious. This is a beautiful product for shine, but I've noticed that despite the kind of radiance it adds, it doesn't weigh the hair down. And that's what makes this a standout for me. My other favorite hair product for the month of February is the GHD Eclipse 1-inch styler or straightener. It's their latest model, and I had an original GHD from about 5 years back that has lasted me all the way through and actually still works, but this is the newest one and I'm happy to be using it. It has technology that enables you to get very effective, powerful results with a minimum amount of heat as to mitigate any heat styling damage that can accrue on your hair over time. My little tip is I like to wash my hair at night, and I typically just towel dry it and then go to bed with it mostly wet because I'm too unmotivated and usually too exhausted to do anything else. I just sleep on a towel with it wet, and because my hair is naturally straight, you'd think that maybe it would be straight in the morning, but it's not because I go to bed with it damp and then I'm laying on it and it's long. So I get all these bumps and dents in the morning. And at that point, I just brush it out quickly with a Tangle Teezer. Depending on how damp it is in the morning, I may use the hairdryer for 30 or 40 seconds. And then I plug the styler in. I turn on the button. It's got a single button activation. It makes this very cool sound when it's turned on. And the plates are so flush to the actual unit that I can just glide this through my hair almost like a super fancy brush that smooths everything out and makes it look like I've spent way more time on my hair than I actually have. All I need is about 2 minutes to go around the top layer of my hair, and it makes everything shiny and silky and straight. And underneath I might have some dents, but I just feel like that adds to the volume. And overall, it's a huge time saver for me in the morning. It's been kind of my routine for the month of February, and I envision continuing that. I think the GHD makes the best hair straightener on the market, and I've tried quite a few, but my original one and then since then this one have been my favorite, and that's why I had to mention it in this video. On to face products. So I have been experimenting with a couple of different powders. One is the Clé de Peau Radiant powder. It's their newest powder foundation. I wear it in 020, and I will link to where I've reviewed this on my blog and swatched it as well. I think the compact is beautiful, and the powder itself is a great kind of medium coverage foundation powder. You can also use it for touch-ups. It's everything one would expect from the Clé de Peau beauty line, and it goes hand in hand with the beautiful Radiant Fluid Foundation. So that's the first one. The second one I picked up on a whim this month. It's the Tom Ford Illuminating Powder. It's not new, and I've had my eye on it for probably a year or two. I have the tinted powder, I think in Fawn Ivory, but this powder only comes in one color. It's yellow, and it's brightening, and even though it has the word illuminating, it doesn't have any obvious shimmer to speak of. It completely mitigates shine while still adding kind of a satin finish to the skin that doesn't look flat or powdery, and I love using this for a touch-up. So this was a whim purchase that has been heavily used this past month as well, and between these two powders for the month of February, I've been set. Well, I've tried quite a few foundations. I'm only going to talk about one in this video because I could talk about foundation all day, every day. The one that I've used a lot in February is the Dr. Jart BB Bounce Beauty Balm. Ordered it from Sephora, once again, on kind of a capricious whim, and I am totally impressed by it. Now, I wear it in medium dark. It looks kind of like one of your cushion compacts, much like the Amore Pacific version, except the actual texture of this is way more creamy and more like a foundation, a cream foundation, if you will. The medium deep is the shade that matches my NC25 skin. I also have the lighter version. I ordered both not knowing which would match, but I'd say the lighter version is great for NC15 to 20 skin, and this takes it up a notch. Unfortunately, if you are darker than an NC25, maybe NC30, you won't find a match so far in this formula, but for those of us in that light medium range, this is amazing. I get all day coverage. I've had this on since first thing this morning, and now it's like 10 hours later. And I've only touched up with powder once. I love the skincare benefits. It has SPF 30, but it's all physical sunscreen, not chemical, and it doesn't flash back in photos. So it's a beautiful little compact to toss in your purse if you need to touch up, though I haven't really needed to. I just like knowing it's there. And I treat it like a foundation. I actually don't use the pad inside the compact. I apply it with a beauty blender, but I like knowing that I could use the pad if I needed to while being on the go. For blush, I've been using a lot of the Prairie Cellular Radiance Cream Blush in Peach Glow. It's actually one of the products I mentioned in my latest piece for the Neiman Marcus blog. I wrote a piece all about glow and products that mimic a really radiant, healthy glow. And so, of course, the piece was laden with highlighters and illuminators, both cream and powder. This was one of the only very color-saturated products I included. Peach Glow packs a lot of pigment, and I'm wearing it right now just on the apples of my cheeks. What I love about this is it's a cream blush with pigmentation, but it adds a very natural, radiant finish to the cheeks. Prairie is definitely an investment line, but I think that the key products for the face are certainly more than worth it. Finally, for highlighter, I've been using a lot of another Whim purchase, which was the Estee Lauder collaboration with Courageous. I hope I'm saying that right. It's a French line. I ordered this for an early preview from Sephora. Comes in this very heavy kind of white ball packaging, and I read mixed reviews on the highlighter. Some people said it wasn't pigmented enough, that it felt kind of just like shine but not a lot of shimmer. I love it for a very natural finish. It's most like the Illuminate side of the Tom Ford shade in Illuminate with a little bit more of a champagne finish, or the RMS Living Luminizer, which is of course vegan and made of coconut product. I think this has a slightly warmer cast than both of those products, which makes it just that much different. And I prefer this tiny packaging. It's diminutive, but definitely still holds a lot of product. I tap it across my cheekbones, down the bridge of my nose, and I get a very subtle, just kind of dewy face look that's very restrained, but still obvious in my book. And you can't overdo the shimmer on this one, so I'm glad I picked this up. Quick fashion detour. I did want to mention my latest shoe acquisition from Nike. Incidentally, I haven't been much of a tennis shoe girl in the past, but lately I've been loving high tops as a way to give my feet that are perennially in some form of very comfortable yet very pronounced heels. I like to wear heels when I teach, but maybe once a week I embrace something a little more sensible. I love these ultra modern high tops. They're kind of a matte black with some extra texture. They're mesh. They have probably an inch, without intending to, probably an inch of lift, which is nice. So comfortable. It feels like you're wearing slippers. But I think that I can't wait to try wearing these like with a dress or a skirt, kind of for a modern twist on things. I'm going to experiment with how I can make this work with my everyday working wardrobe. But I'm glad to add these to my collection, and while they're not the most formal or polished, I think they still add a really interesting, sophisticated vibe. For the eyes, I have but 4 products to discuss quickly. The first is the Kevyn Aucoin Eye Pigment Primitif, and I have this in Titian, which is a rusty, kind of burgundy hued pigment. It's a bouncy kind of mousse, if you will, and it just glides onto the skin. It fills in lines. Your eyes look so smooth, and it doesn't budge. It has a great formidable lasting power, much like the Armani Eyes to Kill, or the Tom Ford cream shadow, which I get good lasting power from, or the Jouer cream shadow. All of these stay in place, and this is no different. I think this shade, however, is different than the other formulas I've mentioned in terms of the colors I own, and I like wearing it for kind of a deep, interesting, sophisticated, brownish burgundy eye, and you can smudge some along the bottom. I'm wearing some today with a lighter shade because it's very daytime work appropriate, and that's the brand new Burberry eye color. It's the Wet n Dry Glow Shadow in Shell. This is so luminous. You could use it as a highlighter if you want. It's just whisper thin, like gossamer finish. And I used it across my brow bone, and I mixed it with the Primitif Titian underneath my lash line. I'm really impressed by this. I can't wait to actually wear this wet, which I haven't tried yet, but as a dry blending shadow to bring things up to the brow bone, this is splendid, just sublime. I've talked about this many times over. I'm talking about it yet again. It's the Surratt Expressioniste Brow Pencil, and I have just been grabbing it nonstop throughout this month. I feel like it's a brunette is a perfect match for my dark brown brows, and I can just fill in my brows, give them some shape. It has a spoolie on this side to build If I want to add a holding gel, I can, but I don't need to. I just find that if I'm in a rush, this is the best way to get polished brows for me. And then finally, the by Prairie Growth Boost Mascara. This is something I tried much earlier this month. I've been using it nonstop. It does have ingredients that actually stimulate eyelash growth. I haven't used it long enough to be able to speak to that firsthand, but it is very flexible. You get beautiful, dark, curled lashes. They do not flake, they do not smudge, and you can add more as the day goes on without getting a single clump. And I think that's what's so wild about it. Just bring it through the lashes, no clumping. I don't understand how Terry did this, but I'm wildly impressed. And then finally, 6 quick lip products to discuss. I've got 2 liners, 2 glosses, 2 lipsticks. So let's get to the liners first. We'll go in order of application. My 2 favorite liners, and I've been loving lip liner this month. I find that it's just a powerful step, especially when the lip liner lasts and stays in place. I'd say these 2 shades, one is called Honey Bun from the Marc Jacobs line, new release, and then there's also the by Terry Baby Bear. Both of them are similar to Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk, but they're not in any way the same. I find that the Marc Jacobs Honey Bun is lighter and a little more coral in terms, or peachy coral, and you can fill in your lip. You get a very soft kind of early 60s look, and it stays in place. It's completely budge. By Terry is budge proof as well. Baby Bear is a little bit darker, a little bit deeper, and it's just a beautiful kind of neutral apricot-y pink. And both of them pair beautifully with all of my nudes and pinks and peaches. So they're always in my makeup bag and I grab them constantly. For lip color, I have the Clé de Peau New for Spring shade in 211, which is a fairly opaque peachy pink. And I'm wearing it right now mixed with some of the by Terry liner and also a bit of the next color I'm going to show you. I just did a big mixture on my lips today. But this has a beautiful moisturizing finish. It stays in place, it's pigmented, it's not overly frosty or flat. It's just a gorgeous peachy pink if you like that. I think it's probably limited edition, so you may want to look into picking it up if you have your eye on it. Also, the Tom Ford Lip Shine in shade 01 Chastity. My mom ordered this for me as a special present. I get her stuff all the time, makeup wise, she tells me, and so she just decided to get this for me. It's a super light baby pink. It's creamy, milky, opaque, looks like early 1960s kind of mod vibe on its own, mixed with lip liner. It's very wearable, but still a beautiful pale kind of doll pink. I love it. I know I'll be picking up another one of these soon enough because I've been running through it, but I adore Chastity because it's so wearable and beautiful, but also because my mom got it for me. Then for glosses, I'm using a lot of the by Terry Baume de Rose as a lip balm, as a gloss. It has a slightly pink, milky pink tinge, but good grief, I love the application on this over the Baume de Rose in the pot. It's so much easier, my fingers stay less sticky, and my lips are consistently smooth and plump in the morning when I put this on at night, and then I wear it as a layer under lipstick in the day. It's invaluable. I actually picked up a second one for the bedside, one for the purse. It's an investment, but incredibly worth it. Not least, a spring release from Chantecaille. This is the Galactic Lip Shine in Polaris, which is an opalescent pearl white clear. It's iridescent. It's beautiful. I have a little bit on my lips right now. Such a pretty color, and you can see it's got this jelly kind of glow to it. It's cushiony, and it's a beautiful hybrid of a gloss and a balm in terms of the moisturizing properties it delivers to the lips. It's very ethereal on its own, and it is beautiful over lip color, definitely over a nude, just so pretty. And I'm happy to say that this so concludes my February skincare and beauty favorites. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I would love to hear what beauty and skincare caught your eye in this past month and what you're experimenting with now that it's March. I welcome your questions and your comments, and as always, don't forget to visit me at my beauty blog, Beauty Professor, which can be found at beautyprofessor.net. Take care.